Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. What is life? Life is a series of moments. Life is a series of emotions. Life is a series of the emotions that we choose within the moments. Life is transformational because becoming is better than being. And that growth also is a choice. Tonight I'm going to explain to you 3 experiences from my life that I have taken so much from because of the choices that I made within those moments. The first experience is from my teenage years. The second experience is from 2 years ago. And the third experience is from just last week. This first experience began when I was 15 years old. I was a camp counselor at a summer camp in Wisconsin. I was responsible for 8 10-year-olds on a canoe trip. What do I know about canoeing? Leading in the front of the canoe procession was one camp counselor, and I was manning the rear by myself in a canoe with all of our food, all of our water, and all the first aid. I noticed that there are rapids approaching. On the left, it seemed to be Class 2 rapids, somewhat beginner. On the right, Class 4 rapids, a little bit more dangerous. I noticed the whole group had gotten safely down the Class 2 rapids. So I decided, of course, being the macho man that I am, to go down the Class 4 rapids. So I paddled, I hit the first rapid, my canoe's rocking a little bit, paddled more, hit the second rapid, rocking a little bit more. I'm getting a little concerned here. The third rapid hit, and my canoe capsized. The water, the food, the first aid floating down the river. I acted immediately. Had that canoe filled up with water, it would have sunk. I picked it up. I dragged it over to the shore. I picked it up above my head, the water pouring out of my head. I flipped it aside. Jumped back in. I paddled. I picked up the food. I picked up the water. The only casualty was the first aid kit. What I learned from that moment was to act with urgency, decisiveness, and tenacity in moments of distress, doubt, and danger. While that first experience occurred as I was exploring lakes in Wisconsin, this next experience occurred as I was exploring a little island in Indonesia. 2 years ago, I was biking through a palm tree grove, the beautiful island of Gili Trawangan off the coast of Bali. I stopped my bike for a moment to take a photo of the picturesque landscape. And I turned my head. I noticed that there was a man on a bike 20 yards behind me, staring at me. What was he doing? Why was he looking at me? I was very suspicious. My emotions were coming from a place of fear. I biked 20 yards further. He biked 20 yards further. I stopped. He stopped as well. He started coming closer to me. 8 yards, 5 yards, 2 yards. He gets right in front of me. He slowly takes his hand off of his handlebar, puts it out in front of him, and said, "Hi, my name's Calvin. I'm from Switzerland. What's your name, mate?" I lowered my guard immediately. And good thing I did, because Calvin became a great buddy. And we traveled together for the next 2 weeks. From this experience, I learned that going into interactions with other people, you have a choice of going with either love or fear. I went into that interaction with fear. And since then, I have approached all their interactions in my life from a state of preemptive love. While this experience caused emotions with another person, this last experience, emotions occurred with just myself. This experience began a week ago as I was alone in my apartment, drinking water from a 12-ounce water bottle. I had it vertical above my head, and the water wasn't flowing fast enough, so I did what anyone in that situation would do. I squeezed the water, squeezed the bottle. When that occurred, the water flow intensified so quickly that it went into my mouth, went in, up, and out my nose. And when that occurred, I had three choices. I could have either winced, I could have screamed, or I could have laughed. I chose laughter. Long, hard laughter by myself. From that experience, I learned to love myself more than ever before. I learned to laugh with myself. I learned to be the most important person in my life. Loving myself, living with urgency, tenacity, decisiveness, and approaching all interactions from a place of love are what I took away from these three life-changing experiences. So as you're crushing through life, achieving your greatest goals, and infusing love into each interaction, always remember to choose to love and respect the most important person in your life, you.